Alright, round 5. We have orbital, and do we have more orbitals? We have armor for Daedalus, orbitals for everybody else. I decided to orbital the middle because there really isn't... I don't think there's that much purpose in orbitaling this tower when I don't have the firepower to break it quickly enough. And this is 2 players units and just not just 1 player's units. There's more here. Photon and not shield, photon and heavy armor on the fortresses. This time I'm mobile beaconing them more aggressively, and my opponent... is this Clint's missile? I think this is Clint's missile. I'm not entirely sure why, but he decides to drop it here. 3 shields for everybody except me, and also I'm the only player who doesn't have to deal with an orbital so far. Okay. Now this is a missile from my opponent. You can barely see which players' missiles these are. And I also get a missile strike, apparently, from Clint's opponent, Anchorite. Never mind, it seems he wants to dual strike me. Now, of course, we have the fortresses here in order to counter the sledges. Currently, at least, the chaff problem has been handled. I used the cell and the redeploy to get both my crawlers out of here, so only the sledges are left. The crawlers are living somewhere around here now. And we're gonna see how this one pans out, because this orbital is going to get mitigated quite a lot by the shield. Meanwhile, I'm eating some missiles. I'm also eating a missile to these phoenixes, but they have the health. I don't know if I clicked that button this time. And when they are slow enough, they actually start hitting some of the steel bolts. So that is actually pretty good for me. That missile kinda did me a service. The marksmen have the DPS to kill these fortresses, even this fortress, but it's going to be costly. And on this side, it looks like it is still not going to be enough to break through. There's an entire pack of fangs here that I would have to kill before I get to even work on the fortress here. On the other side, the fortress did die. Clint's opponent is already dead. I have a decent amount of sledgehammers and I am getting through here. With Mech Rage, they can actually get some chaff cleared pretty effectively. And Clint is starting to work on the middle shield, which means they won't be having any shields again. However, Clint does manage to keep a shield alive. My forces, except for the phoenixes, once again, what surprise, have all but been wiped out. We have this marksman still a very much so big and grave danger to our air units. One phoenix will get sniped, the other phoenix will get spared for the moment because the Farseer is taking the hit. And this means that with one phoenix on low HP from a missile, and of course a whole lot of Clint's units, we secure another victory. These phoenixes can level to level 4, no wonder after eating a marksman level 3, and a whole lot of other stuff like level 3 steel balls. We see a scorpion drop for me. Clint is taking the Typhoon. Scorp immediately gets range. Also a Scorp for my opponent, Daedalus, and he drops more fortresses. Is he gonna sell the Scorpion, or is he just going to ride it? Because, let's be honest, Scorpion into a line of sledges, also not bad. The only big question is, okay, Anchorite also takes a Scorpion. Once again, Clint is the odd one out, not taking the Scorpion. Even though I think this board looks Scorpionable, like Arclights, Marksman, the other Scorpion, Steel Balls. Everything on that board except for the chaff looks like a Scorpion would have a field day shooting at it. But I guess he likes the Typhoon more for chaff clear. I cannot blame him, Typhoons are great. I get more Scorpions. Basically the plan right now is Marksman for anti-air, Scorpions for killing the big stuff, and Sledgehammers for killing the small stuff, and Phoenixes to just annoy the absolute you-know-what out of my opponent, out of Clint's opponent. I don't want these Phoenixes caught up in a range war against the Marksmen when they have no techs, and I mean, these are great, but I have more Marksmen here than Phoenixes. I could change that in theory. Oh well, time for the next round to start. We have these Assault Marksmen now with anti-air, so the days of the Phantom Ray may be numbered. We'll see what Clint does. The Scorpions are actually useful at deleting these chaff units because they do a lot of splash here. Also the Steel Balls. Drop. That's a Steel Ball dead. more chaff units get sniped, well, not sniped, get wiped out by the sledges, and suddenly this line is looking a whole lot more feasible. The Scorpions have started working on the fortresses. This fortress is big, but the Scorpion is bigger. Clint's opponent has already fallen. I'm mostly watching my board. So, this Scorpion's gonna die, it seems. I have one more Scorpion surviving, but there isn't many units. There really isn't much surviving on the side of Daedalus here. If I were to involve the Phoenixes in the fight, maybe I could win it, but honestly it's working so well just sending Clint my reinforcements because, let's put it bluntly, my opponent's anti-air is pretty good with these marksmen against Phoenixes. His opponent's anti-air is assault marksmen, which have a lot less range. They have inferior range by 20 to these Phoenixes, so why shouldn't I just give Clint these units and use his army to wipe my opponent's army out at the end of the day? Daedalus is going for the nano repair kit, so is Anchorite, Clint is going for the EMP, and I am too. Now this Scorpion does not have the damage to wipe out that shield by itself. It needs a bit of support. Or maybe... oh no, I already have an attack upgrade. If I were to hit another attack upgrade, that would actually work. Ah, double shot. That is all the support that the Scorpions are gonna need to wipe out the shields at the front, if they get to target it. I'm not sure if that is going to work. In theory, the damage is also not enough, so I don't think this shield is going to go down. But unless the opponent puts some chaff in the way here, that shield is definitely doomed. The shield is effectively going to be a non-issue here. Between the sledges don't have the range. But between the Scorpion alone and maybe the marksman, that shield is absolutely over. You see some crawler flank here. I put some more deeper sledges. I think that was against a potential rhino drop or something like that. Meanwhile, Clint's opponent better hopes his shields hold. There is Typhoon missiles, but I don't see any other immediate threat to the shield that can hit immediately, instantly. So yeah, this EMP is not landing. My EMP has actually landed. You can see the game chugging because Scorpion still tanked my performance. Sledgehammers are doing not all that well currently. They are getting wiped out too quickly for my side of the board. I kinda need more chaff in front because right now this Scorpion only gets saved barely and dies before it does another shot. However, I do also have a pretty good Scorpion core army here. I think the deciding factor here is the range on the fortresses. They also produce chaff, which is itself great, I will say that much. But at the same time, I think against Scorpions it's not all that great. And the main reason why is because Scorpions have so much AoE, and they usually lock onto something like a fort that they will wipe it out. However, for this round, I lost so badly that not even Clint could save me.